Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of This Week in Gaming, the Twig podcast. I will be your host, Kage848, and with me are my co-hosts. We've got co-owner of Kill Servers server hosting, Pam.
Hi there.
Hello, Pam. We also have the man with the beard, and Proberts.
Fear the beard.
Fear the beard, and these two are going to be my co-hosts for the podcast, and we also have our first guest, Lily.
Hello.
Hello, Lily. All right, so here we go. I'm going to tell you guys about the podcast and what we're doing it for. I listen to a lot of podcasts all day, every day, on the way to work, sometimes at work. Don't tell my boss. And I hear, I've listened to Giant Bomb. I've listened to the Weekend Confirmed back when they were doing that. I've listened to just a ton of podcasts, and they always talk about AAA stuff. They always talk about consoles. Sometimes they talk about PC, but they never talk about the early access gaming. I rarely, if ever, hear games like 7 Days to Die or Space Engineers or games like that. And I want a podcast for that stuff, and they're just not out there. So I figured I would start my own. So this is going to be a podcast for indie games and specifically indie early access games. So what do you guys think? You like that idea or what?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
What do you guys think about early access games? Is that like your jam now, guys, or?
Early access games got me away from World of Warcraft for the past 11 years, so.
Well, thank God for that.
That took something to get away from that.
What about you, Pam? Have you always liked early access games?
Oh, I've always been a big follower of early access games, even before people really knew what they were. Of course, this week I'm going to step on my foot and happen to be talking about some mainstream games. But early indie games have always been my thing.
And what about you, Lily? Is this something new for you, or?
The early access games, yes, are new to me. I mainly played the World of Warcraft kind of scene, the Rift, and then I eventually just got bored of it, and now I'm hooked to indie games.
Yeah, I started early access games, I guess, with actually Minecraft. Minecraft is early access for a long time. I was playing Minecraft in 2010. And a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people do, but I don't think of Minecraft as an early access game. I know it's not now, but I don't even think of it as back then. But yeah, that was an early access alpha game, and pretty much going to end up being one of the most important games of all time. And, kind of open the doors for all these games like 7 Days to Die and Space Engineers and, Empyrion.
How old is Minecraft now?
It's probably about 3 or 4 years.
2000, I want to say it came out in 2010, possibly, like early 2010. But I didn't get into it from the beginning, but I was into it early, like really early.
I just barely got into it.
I know there was some early stuff that went on towards the end of 2009, but I think it became available in very early 2010.
I just want you guys to know on YouTube that we also do this live. We haven't set up a date and time yet. It's going to be either Friday or Saturday, and we do this live on Twitch. And I'm having a lot of people telling me that Twig is owned by Twit TV. It's called This Week in Google. So this podcast name could very well be changing because I don't want to step on anyone's toes. But we'll think of something interesting for it.
Yeah, Shorty, that's Lily up there in the corner.
Yes.
I take that, let's see, just so you know, with Minecraft, Minecraft development started in around May 10th, 2009, and pre-orders were started to be accepted on June 13th, 2009. And the release date of November 18th, 2011.
That makes sense because I remember playing it in late 2010, and I heard about it months before. When I first heard about Minecraft, I saw a big, minecart track. There was like a roller coaster, and I was like, that looks like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I just forgot about it. And then I saw Paul Source Jr. do a video on it, and I was like, oh my God, I just have to get that. And, the rest is history.
The first time I saw Minecraft, that was about my thoughts is, look at the graphics. Why in the world would I play that? Why?
Yes,
and now,
exactly.
And now I play it, not as much as my kid does, but I play it.
I don't know. I still don't play it. There's something about the graphics I cannot get around. I don't know.
that got me into 7 Days to Die. I went from Minecraft, and I told Blake, I said, I love this game. And he was like, oh, you like that, Dad? He said, you ought to try Rust. You like the graphics, but you want more realistic graphics and more realistic building. Try Rust.
Because that's what's important. Graphics.
I went into Rust, and I got a couple 100 hours into Rust, and I got tired of getting owned by 8-year-olds. And,
hey, some of them were 13. hey, you know what? Some of them were 26. Some of them were 36. I mean, there was a time when I owned in Rust. I mean, I used to run with Royal and Star, raid people all the time. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Rust. It's not all about graphics, but you know, it's
and
not for everybody.
So far, and then I found the ultimate 7 Days to Die.
Yes, 7 Days to Die is that's the game. It's been the game for me for 2 years, and you know, we've had a lot of good games come out in the meantime. Like again, I've mentioned Space Engineers and Empyrion. Ark has been a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun on Rust for a long time. You know, there's been a lot of games out there, but you know, it's just 7 Days to Die just speaks to me. I don't have to deal with the PvP griefing. There are PvP servers, you can go play on them if you want, but I like the co-op aspect of it, and I like the survival aspect of it. And even though sometimes they make changes to the game that make it a lot harder, and I have to deal with that, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I need to disable my new follower. There you go. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm streaming right now. Whenever I get a new follower, it pops up on the screen, but I'm gonna have to disable that for this, and I just thought I disabled it, but apparently I didn't. Last donator, last follower response. No, that's, I don't know.
Skeezy Mac says, Lily, your headset looks like clay pigeons I shoot at when I'm bored.
Hey, it is pretty sweet. I mean, it's...
Am I old that reminds me of Duck Hunt? Or maybe it's just my...
Nintendo.
Duck Hunter, yeah.
All right,
that was the best.
All right, let's move on to the next part. So this is going to be the part where we talk about what we've been doing this week. It doesn't always have to be gaming. If you can talk about anything you want. You can talk about games you've been playing. You could talk about games you're looking forward to. You could talk about whatever's going on in your week. And Pam, what's been going on in your week?
Well, my week, I mean, the old standbys. You never thought you'd hear that about 7 Days to Die, did you? Of course, I've been playing that in Ark. But I've also been playing, and don't laugh, Final Fantasy 14. I've gotten into that, and I'm kind of enthralled with it a little bit. It's very interesting. It's a lot more complex than I thought it would be, so it's kind of attracted my attention. That, and I'm really looking forward to, and everybody can laugh on this one, a new free-to-play game that's coming out from DreamWorks called School of Dragons.
What's this all about?
It's an MMORPG, and it's basically based on the movie How to Train Your Dragon. So it's a great big wide open world. You get your dragon, you train it, you take it through school. It's got crafting and everything. You know, it's a great big huge open world and all of that. It's got a lot going on, but it's basically based on training and bringing up your own dragon. And it looks like a lot of fun, so I'm like really interested in it.
The whole How to Train Your Dragon thing is not my cup of tea, but I heard Final Fantasy 14 is really good. That was relaunched, right?
Right, it was relaunched. I don't know all the history behind it. I know there were a lot of problems when it originally came out, and so they did a whole relaunch on it. They did a whole reworking on it. The thing that's very interesting to me is you're not pigeonholed into that class that you pick to start with. That's where you start out, but then you can literally add on every class in the game, every craft in the game, just as much as you're willing to handle in your character. Your character can be everything and anything. So it's, and they just put out a new expansion that's huge.
Is it solo oriented or is it group oriented?
Both.
Can you go out and do by yourself? Can you go out and level as quickly by yourself as you can with group?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have only been with a group. I play with Chris and Dredd, and I've been with Dredd. Took me out one time to help me get a level, and that's it. The rest of the leveling I've done all on my own.
So, like, is there any bonus to leveling in that game, or?
Well, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, to grouping.
Yeah, I mean there are. there are certain, if you stay with the storyline, if you're playing throughout the entire storyline, there are certain dungeons that you do need to get in groups. You don't have to be, they're not groups made up necessarily of, people that you're friends with that you want to play with. You go and you show up at the dungeon and, the game sets up your group of, the 5 or 6 players that need to be in that dungeon, like the healer and the tank and the DOT. And
you get like special loot. You get like special loot in the dungeons you can't get solo. Right. Okay, that's good. Right. That's good. Do you guys have any experience with any MMOs besides World of Warcraft?
I've played a lot of Rift. I played it for about 2 years. It was probably where I met most of my friends, and I really developed my gaming skills, to be honest. WoW, I only played for, I'm not going to lie, maybe 3 weeks to a month, if that. I had a hard time getting into it because I was really trying to, get back into the MMO. Because, again, I was playing Aeon as well, and I was kind of bored. And, sometimes after you played a game for so long, you're just so drained, and it's hard to get back into that style. So, but then I've taken a break, and I started playing 7 days shortly after. But other than that, yeah. I played Final Fantasy 14 as well, for a short period.
What about you, Proberts?
I've played a couple, but they don't keep my interest long. I've got my Steam library. I had to go into my Steam library just to remember the names of them. I played DC Universe online for a little bit. And then there was another one that was... Somebody said if I liked World of Warcraft, I'd like it. And I don't remember what it was. Path of Exile.
That's a Diablo clone.
Yeah. And
like Diablo 2 clone.
I played that one for like a couple of days, and then anymore I get bored with them. I used to love like top-down shooters and stuff like that, the old World of Warcraft. What was the old it was just called Warcraft, I think. StarCraft.
Yeah, Warcraft 2, yep.
Yeah, I used to like those, and anymore they're just boring to me, so I don't know what's up. Those are about the only two, and I played them both for a couple of days and then quit.
Has anyone ever played EverQuest 2?
Nope.
I did.
Thought about playing EverQuest, but never did.
All right. I've played 90% of these MMOs. Let me tell you something. EverQuest 2 is the best MMO ever made. I could get into it. I'm not going to, because then this would be a 5-hour podcast. But I'm just gonna let you know, EverQuest 2 is the best MMO ever made. It's so sad that not a lot of people played that game.
I played EverQuest. I played EverQuest, a lot of EverQuest, and then I started playing EverQuest 2, but I never got into it the way I was into EverQuest.
Yeah, EverQuest 1 was pretty sick. What about you, Proberts? What have you been playing this week?
This week I have been... Well, it started out, I think it was Monday when you were streaming, and I spent probably 12 hours playing Hearthstone and getting back into that.
Put together some good deck. Did you do your quests today?
Not today. I did them for the last 3 days. I did them for the last 3 days.
Every day.
I've got other things. I got a YouTube channel I'm trying to grow.
Grace period. You can do it all in one day for 3 days.
I'm not even able to watch all my videos that I want to watch just because I got things to do. I got chitting to do, man. But I've been Hearthstone. I've been really liking Hearthstone, which I might get into it a little bit more because I finally found a game that my kid will play with me for more than 10 minutes. And then
after this podcast, we're gonna be playing some Hearthstone tonight. So
I'm up.
You're going down, Cage. You're going down.
Punk rock. I've been playing with
fighting words coming. Yeah, that's right.
So I showed Lily Trump's YouTube channel, and he puts together these excellent videos which basically teach you different kinds of decks. And she plays a freeze mage deck, which basically just keeps everything frozen. So you save up all the damage you can, and you burn the person down like a couple turns. And I linked her to Trump's teaching on how to play this deck. She's missing a really key card though, but once she gets that card, it's gonna be nasty because it's a tough deck.
Oh, but it's nasty already. I mean,
this is gonna make my victory.
Nasty.
This is gonna make my victory all the sweeter. All right.
I played punk rock.
Don't forget, I still have my face hunter.
Knock on that wooden desk, Cage. Knock on that wooden desk.
Okay. So anything else, Proberts?
That
I know you've been playing other stuff, man.
Empyrion, 7 Days to Die, and Ark. I spent a good 10 hours on Ark a couple of days ago, as you found out this morning. So, and that's pretty much that's what takes up my time. 7 days Ark, Empyrion, and now Hearthstone.
All right, cool. Lily, what have you been playing this week?
What I have been playing this week, oh god, lots of stuff. Mainly I've been bouncing back between 7 days and Ark because I gotta feed my pets, and I've had a funny story about Ark, and it kind of sucks because taming something for 5 hours and then not being able to use it is kind of heart-wrenching. But it was really funny and unfortunate all at the same time. And then just working, really. Working. Now I'll have a long vacation or long weekend, so...
What did you tame that you couldn't use?
Stupid Nessie monster.
Oh.
The worst part is, okay, I was helping a friend out to tame because he needs 2 people, as lately they've been coming as groups of 2. And I was like, sure, I'll help out. I don't mind. So I had my almost level 30 dolphin, which I named Flipper, with me, and we were going, and then we came across one. I'm like, hey, that's not bad. So I bring it over to the guy. We found this caves so we can water. Next minute, we're just in the water. We're shooting trank arrows at him. And next minute, the second one comes out. I have no idea what levels these are because at this point, we're at panic mode. And yeah, next minute, they kill Flipper. I'm stuck at the bottom of the ocean. I'm trying to go into this cave. And then he takes off on his shark. And I'm left with like these 2 level 35 Nessie monsters. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just pelting the crap out of this one of them. I tried to escape, but the other one tried to eat me. So I had to stay in the cold water for hours to trank this thing. So when it finally got tamed, it snuck into the cave, and now we can't get it out. It won't come out, and you can't break the cave rocks. So we tried putting a saddle on it to try to get it out, and it didn't work. So I was like, hey, how about you try it? So I transferred the ownership to him, and I think it's still stuck in the cave.
It won't follow you out?
No, because the opening, for some reason, bugged out to inside the cave. So it can't come out of the cave, so...
Lily, you need somebody like me you just log on one day and you walk outside the base and you could say, and somebody could say, hey, Lily, look at this. And there's a zoo out front. Right, Kage?
All right. You know what I take from that story? Never let women name dinosaurs. All right.
I have some pretty good names. I mean,
yours are okay.
My cat's name's Zeta. my T-Rex is named Roxy.
Yours are okay. Proberts, what did my wife name her last dinosaur? Do you remember? It was something whacked. I can't even think of it.
Professor Spiky Butt.
Professor Spiky Butt. This is what I got to deal with. I come on the server, and all my dinosaurs have glasses. And I got Thunder Buns and Professor Spiky Butt. This is what I gotta deal with. I'm dead. Every time I log on the server, I'm dead. I'm up in midair, and then I fall through the world, and I'm dead. I lost all my stuff. Every time I log on. And then I got Professor Spiky Butt and Thunder wearing glasses.
Even the new Raptor.
I smell a plot.
This is what I gotta deal with.
There's a conspiracy here. There's definitely a conspiracy going on.
I don't know. I like the unique, fun names. I like naming mine kind of I have an ankylosaur named Arnold, and my Triceratops is named Stan. I have a Ralph.
Oh. I just named mine after boxes.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to this week's topic. We're going to be doing topics every week. And this week, for our first one, obviously, our topic's going to be indie early access games. We've been talking a lot about them, so this might actually have been a bad topic. But I'm going to go to each of you and ask you a couple questions. Pam, what do you like and don't like about indie and early access games?
The only thing that I'm not sure that I like about the whole idea is, and it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other, because I really do like the part about the community input and growing the game and that sort of thing. But I also worry that by the time the game launches, you've reached endgame. You've done all there is to do. What's left? There's nothing new and pretty and startling because you've been there through the whole run of it. So while I really love the whole idea of being there from the beginning and shaping the game and being able to have input into the game and where you want to go with it, I'm also worried that by the time the game is finally launched, it's everything it will be. I kind of see that maybe happening a little bit with Minecraft. If it wasn't for modders doing something now, Minecraft wouldn't be going on. And everybody would be tired of it because, if you look at the vanilla game, everybody's had their input, gotten everything in and everything else. It's the modding of the game that's keeping it going on, not really the development of the game anymore. So that's my pros and cons to indie.
Really quick, I got to get some hardcore mods in my chat. Proberts, do you know this James guy?
I haven't been able to read everything, but James, here he is. Shut that woman up? No, I don't think I do.
I wasn't sure if he was a friend of yours, just busting your chops. But sometimes people just come in and bust their French chops, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to time him out. Okay.
I have real. It's almost like selective listening. If it's not worth looking at, I don't look at it.
Okay. Proberts, what do you like and don't like about early access and indie games and stuff?
I don't know. I think the best thing that I love about early access, and they're pretty much all indie games, I believe, but pretty much the thing I love about them is the opportunity to be able to shape the game, especially if you're active in the forums and letting them. We see it all the time, and especially doing Let's Play videos, because they might not watch ours, but they watch others, and the input that you get to put in and then watch those changes being made. And then as a final product, when that thing comes out as a final product and is available to everybody, people on consoles included, you know that you had a part in helping with that game in one way or another. And besides that, it doesn't hurt when it's a game that you just absolutely love. I love the crafting. I love crafting. I love survival. I actually do a little bit of survival whenever I go camping. I live in the middle of Wyoming. And so it just fits in with my lifestyle also.
Is there anything you could think of bad about them? I mean, you don't have to think of something bad about them.
The bad?
I was wondering if there's anything,
Only what I've heard, because I haven't experienced it. And that is the possibility that you're spending the money on that game. And I hear a lot of people, they feel like they get ripped off, even though they know that's a possibility. When the game doesn't get finished, it just gets dropped off the table. They say, okay,
happened. It's happened a few times.
It hasn't happened to me yet. And, I think that's probably the worst thing about it, is that possibility. But if you're playing early access, you're going in with that possibility already known to you. So, give or take.
Lily, what do you think? Good points, bad points, early access games?
Well, I 100% agree with what Proberts was saying, is that I love the fact that we get to shape the game. And like you said, if we're active on the forums, we tell them what the bugs are, what the majority of the people don't like and do like, it does get changed. And it's really nice to see that, because then when it eventually does come out, if it does, it's released, you were just one of those people that had a part to create something fun for other people to enjoy it. I think it's something I've been learning for the last year playing these type of games.
And I haven't checked lately. I'm sorry, Lily. I haven't checked lately, but I was on the testing group for 7 Days to Die. And that was Alpha 12, and they said that our names were going to go into the credits. Now, I'm not on the testing group anymore. Whether my name's in there or not, I haven't checked. But, I mean, come on. You play video games. How cool is that?
That's huge. It's awesome.
That's cool as hell.
It really is really cool. And, I mean, I don't know. I think that's what you said. I don't think I could have said it any better.
I can't really add anything to any of you guys said, so I will just give you a YouTuber/streamers point of view. Early access games are great for us because they give the smaller YouTube channel a chance to get their stuff out there and show people games that they might not know about. If I do Grand Theft Auto 5, you know, everybody's doing it. If I do 7 Days to Die 2 years ago, nobody knew what that game was. You know, Empyrion, Ark, all these games. Ark was pretty big, but still, you know, these early access games are great. And from, you know, a personal selfish standpoint, I love the fact that some people ask, when is 7 Days to Die going to go into beta? When is it going to be released? They can go for years with this, as far as I'm concerned, because every time they do an update, it just helps. It helps all of us. I mean, you're a YouTuber too, Proberts. You know, when those updates come out, like, and that's what I love about these early access games. You know, I got a game a year ago called Banished, and I was really jacked for Banished, and I got Banished. And it was just Banished. It wasn't an early access game. It was what it was. And it was fun for about a week, and then I got bored of it. I stayed on Minecraft because of the updates. I'm staying on 7 Days to Die because of the updates. All these updates that come out. Even the Forest, you know, when I look at the Forest update notes, they're too long to read, you know? And it's just like taking these games and just making them, you know, just changing them continuously. And I really love that, you know, a lot. And you know, once 7 Days to Die finally does come out, I'm hoping they hand it over to the modders, and the modders can do for 7 Days to Die what Feed the Beast and Technic did for Minecraft, and that's where, you know, I'm hoping everything goes.
We love you too, Nez. Somebody in chat was asking you, and what about Subnautica, Kage? I mean, that's one that hasn't been brought up too, and I mean, that's another great game.
Subnautica and Stranded Deep are excellent games, but they both suffer from the same problem. Well, they're both water-based games, which I find funny, but they both, maybe I am just not finding everything out there, but I kind of feel like when I play them, I'm not finding enough content. And there's a lot of content I didn't do in both games, and I understand that. They both have their own challenges as a Let's Player. Starting over every time in Subnautica is tough when you got to go out there and grind the quartz for glass. You got to go find 3 pieces of quartz for 1 piece of glass. Doing that 5 times in a row on season 5, season 6, season 7, it wears on you. And you know, I have a full-time job and a wife. I can't be doing all that grinding continuously. So it's diminishing returns at that point. You know, that's one of the problems with these type of games. And they're smaller studios, and they're great. They're great devs, and I'm looking forward to see what those games do. But as of right now, I got to kind of pick and choose my battles, and the Forest is kind of just adding more stuff that I'm interested in. It feels like there's more content out there. RimWorld is another one. I got to get back to RimWorld someday. Didn't do well for my channel, but man, they push out content on that game, and there's a lot of stuff to do in RimWorld. So we got a couple of different things on the topic here, but we will just cut to the last part of the topic. Pam, what do you think the future of early access games? Are they going to go away, become more popular, or just kind of, you know, stay where they are?
Oh, I definitely think they're going to become more popular. I mean, I think they're here to stay, and I think they're going to become more popular. I think you're going to see a little bit of kind of a balancing act with the whole crowdfunding thing. I think people are going to start wanting a little bit more clarification, so that, you know, they're not putting money out and not getting something as a return. But I'm pretty sure they're here to stay, and probably will go forward. I think you're going to see more games coming from the indie developers than you are even from some of the big corporate developers.
What about you, Proberts? Where do you think it's going?
I think it's great. I think it's going to get more and more popular. From a business standpoint, these guys are smart. The only thing that I can really hope for is that Steam and whoever else does these early access games is that they come out with a way of, if your customers, your players that buy these early access and alpha games, if you quit development, we're putting so much of this money back to give back to those customers. Not all of it, because they bought it knowing the chances there. But I think they're going to get more and more popular. I mean, what is it to come up with a game and put it on Steam, hopefully get it greenlit, put it on Steam, and then be able to have that money up front to help create that game? It's no longer in the big corporate money, you know. It's not in their hands anymore to be the only ones that are able to come up with good games. I think it's going to blow up.
I kind of feel like the big corporations, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm very passionate about this. I kind of feel like the big corporations have gotten stuck in a rut, And I don't think it's necessarily their fault. When you're making games that cost billions of dollars, maybe not billions, but millions of dollars, the next Assassin's Creed, the next Call of Duty, those games are so expensive, they can't afford to fail. They have to stick with what they know is going to sell. And unfortunately, what sells, people don't like change. They're going to keep buying the same thing over and over. I mean, I don't play these games, so as far as I know, Call of Duty is a totally different game from the last Call of Duty. I don't know. They all seem the same from someone on the outside looking in, and I kind of feel that way about a lot of the big games out there. Madden, come on,
You look at Ark. Ark put their numbers out there for everybody to see, and I don't know if that's a public knowledge or not. But when Ark hit, they had 100,000 copies, over 100,000 copies of the game by the day it hit Steam. Within a month, they were over 1 million copies, and that game was $25, I think.
It was in that range, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're an indie developer or if they're a bigger company or not. But look at all that money they're able to sink now into that game and further.
I was told they were had a bigger dev team than most indies out there. I mean, you probably know
they have a bigger dev team, but then again, we were talking about this earlier, quote unquote, what is an indie? There's not. I mean, it's kind of a vague definition. I mean, some indie development teams are fairly large and very well formed and almost kind of corporate on their own. Some are all very small and very loosely integrated and that sort of thing. But the Ark developers are considered indie. They're an independent shop.
What do you think, Lily? Where's all this going?
I think honestly, indie games are where it's at. And what Proberts were saying, like those big companies are in a rut. And I mean, it's also those billion-dollar games that are so called. I find they're more targeted to console games instead of PC gamers, even though you do come out on PC. I just feel like it's more publicized for PS4, Xbox One, and I mean, not everyone's gonna have those either. So I don't know. I think, like we were talking before, the pros and cons, and I'm gonna stick with that pro. I think it's just the fact that the indie games are gonna be really out there more often because people are gonna have a say in how it is progressed and how it changes.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here now. I think that is it for our topics. So now, again, guys, we need a name for this section. I don't know what to call it. I was thinking about mailbag. Basically, this is going to be an interaction section where you guys can ask questions. As a matter of fact, you can start asking your questions now on Twitch because of the delay. And we will pick out some questions. You guys, if you see a question, just let me know. And if you see something that's interesting. And,
yeah, we might not be able to get to them all because this channel is going to blow up now.
We're going to have to pick up the best ones. Yeah. And we're also going to be doing a YouTube interaction. And for you guys on YouTube, but what you're going to do is you're going to post questions in the comments on YouTube. And there's going to be a weekly podcast. And we are going to come back next week. And I will grab the best questions out and we will answer them on next week's podcast. All right, Bad Buck. Okay. Do you think the benefits of allowing small companies get their products out via Kickstarter crowdfunding outweigh the negatives for all the people who have spent a lot of money on a lot of games which never live up to their promise? Would those games have gotten their funding anyway through merit of if crowdfunding wasn't a thing? Well, the problem is, from my understanding, I don't know. I'm not in the industry, but from what I understand, the developers have to make a game and then they have to find a publisher. And it's kind of like movies, a movie maker has to find a company to put out their movie. And a lot of times those big companies have big executives and they get their hands in your product and they say, no, I don't want this like this. You got to do it like this. They kind of try and force you to make changes. And I kind of feel like an indie developer can spend less money, can take bigger risks and can do something different. And I think a big publisher is looking for big money and will do whatever it takes to get that big money. And if that means pumping out the same Madden game year after year, then that's what they're going to do. And I think that, I want to give without physical media, to just get the data out there on Steam or on Xbox Live or on, PS, PlayStation Network. I think that's really great because they don't need those people to press the discs, to make the manuals, to get everything out there. We don't need GameStop because don't even get me started on GameStop. You know, and I think that's a great thing. And I think we need to cut these almost middlemen out, who are just kind of, they kind of just, I mean, again, I'm not, I don't know about this stuff. I'm not in this industry, but from an outsider looking in, it kind of looks like they're just a bunch of businessmen who are just looking to make money. And hey, I mean, whatever, they're trying to make money, but I think it's kind of stifling creativity. What do you guys?
I got one here, Kage, from Roger Wilco. It says, what do you folks think of in-game purchases for console PC games? Personally, I think it's milking for money. I wonder if content is reduced in order to make money with DLCs and in-game purchases. I can see both sides of that, to where it's kind of milking for money. A lot of these games, and I'm sorry because I might get a little bit of hate from this. H1Z1, from day one, I thought that was like a pay-to-win thing. But
H1, let me take some time to rip on H1Z1. Yeah. And if you guys like, if you guys like,
you
H1Z1,
agree, I assume.
If you guys like H1Z1, I got nothing against you. I respect your opinion, and that's your opinion. That's cool. But the day they came out, they snuck guns into those paid airdrops.
You had to pay for them.
Yeah, they snuck them in there, and then they got caught, and then they took them out, and that's supposed to make it okay. It doesn't make it okay to me. Then you know, the game came out, and it was doing its thing, and you know, SOE has a bad history. I've been playing EverQuest for a lot of years, and SOE has a bad history. And you know, then they start making the game, and then they get this thing that's really popular. The what is it called? The
Battle Royale.
Yeah, the Battle Royale. And then I heard they're talking about charging for that. Did they ever go through with that, or?
I have no idea. To be honest,
It's still in the planning, from what I understand. They didn't give an end date as to when it would happen, but it is apparently still going to happen.
See, I disagree with a lot of that kind of stuff, but DLC and buying DLC, I don't see nothing wrong with some of it. 7 Days to Die. When 7 Days to Die gets finished and is a finished product, Fun Pips can start coming out with downloadable content of individual state, or like Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and sell it for $10. And I guarantee
think what'll happen is they'll probably go on and let modders do that, because they said they'd move on from 7 Days to Die. But I see what you're saying.
As far as purchasing downloadable content, I would own Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico. I mean, sell those $10 a pop. Here, Fun Pips. Here's my money.
What about we all love? I mean, I think we all love Blizzard here. What about Hearthstone? Hearthstone's.
Well, you pay something for the good cards. I mean, you have to sometimes. Like, you really want to get up there. I mean, I'm one of those people that I have purchased decks so I can get my mood.
It's personal opinion. I won't spend the money in Hearthstone for decks. I'll play with whatever I can get, and that's it.
I like the idea of cosmetic things, but this is the way the wind's blowing, and you know, I guess it's a little bit of hypocrisy because I did buy cards in Hearthstone. And is H1Z1 free?
No.
Are you sure? I thought H1Z1 was free. I'm pretty sure I bought the game, but I thought it was supposed to be free.
It's free to play. It's free to play, but you have to buy the game. So it's not free. You buy the game.
Wait, that's not free to wait. Guys in chat, do you have to pay to play H1Z1? I was always under the assumption it was free to play. When I bought the game, I was given airdrop things and little things in my inventory,
right.
And I figured that was the $20 that I paid for the game, and I heard it was going to be free to play. It's not free to play yet. They're telling me I think they're telling me it's not free to play yet.
Okay.
It is free to play?
It was free to play when it first started. I mean, maybe they've gone to their paid.
You guys in chat, you can't just say yeah and nope because I'm not really sure what that means. Yes, it's free to play. No, it's not free to play. That's all. It's still $20. See, maybe I'm misremembering things. I have a bad memory, but I could have swore they said that was coming out free to play.
Yeah, $20 to buy. Yeah.
I don't know. I saw it when it first originally came out, and then I've ignored it.
It will be free to play upon official release.
Now someone's saying it's free to play. $20 to buy. They claim it'll be free to play upon official release. Okay. So that's probably what I thought. I under my mind, I was figuring official release was already out. So maybe that's where.
Flying midgets in the chat now.
$20 to get the early access.
$20 to get the early access. Okay.
But
that's the thing with free to play. If you're gonna do in-game purchases, you cannot charge for the game, in my opinion. When they came out with the Xbox. Forza 5 was $60 game, with in-game purchases. And I listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't give a crap about Forza. I give a crap about the Xbox, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I absorb this stuff. And from what I understand, those cars were kind of needed, and they eventually made them cheaper or started giving those cars away. But they basically got the whales. That's what they do. They charge for the stuff. They get the whales, and then when people start complaining, then they make it free, and it makes them look good. If you're smart, you'll know what they're doing, and you won't fall for their BS. You don't charge $60 for a game and then do in-game purchases.
And see, you got to realize what H1Z1 is doing. It's $20 now to get advanced access, and you get little doohickey giveaway content that is cosmetic to pay you back the 20 or whatever. Then, right now, the main game is going to stay free, and upon release, the main game will be free. But the arena part is going to be, to get in the arena, you're going to have to buy tickets. You'll either have to earn tickets in the main game or buy them to play the arena part. The battle royale, you'll have to buy tickets.
See, make it available both ways. Make them rare drops, but make them possibility of being able to find it in a drop that you don't have to buy.
There's going to be a way to earn it, but it's going to be, it's going to be like you can earn 1 ticket a month. The people who want to play in the arena are going to want to play more than once a month. They're going to be spending money like crazy to buy tickets to get in the arena.
Okay,
that's all people play right now.
Okay, SkeezyMax says they patch H1Z1 constantly, and it's pretty fun if you have friends to PvP with. If you plan on doing solo PvE, it's horrible. The zombies suck. Yeah, so it sounds kind of like DayZ. And like I said, SkeezyMac, if you guys like H1Z1, that's cool. I just didn't like some of the shady shenanigans they were kind of pulling in the beginning. And, I'm not a big PvP guy, so I just, it's not really my thing.
Yeah, especially if it's only for battle royale, there's no point.
The shenanigans were definitely a turn-off. When they slipped the guns in on us, I walked away from it at that point.
Them slipping the guns in reminds me of the Xbox One announcement when they said that they were going to make it online only and you couldn't play used games. The internet went into a rage, and then Microsoft said, "Oh, okay." Actually, even before they did that, during E3, PlayStation came out and said, "We're not doing that with our console. Our console will not be online all the time, and you can play your used games and no big deal." And then after that, Xbox kind of backed off. On one hand, it makes me happy that the gaming public can voice their opinion in a way that's going to make these guys back off. I mean, a gajillion-dollar corporation like Microsoft got pulled down by internet nerds. I mean, basically, and that's awesome. But part of me thinks, guys, you're really getting taken by these guys because they tried to pull some crap on you just because they pulled it back. I don't know. It doesn't really make it right. Although, you know what? If I was a fan of Halo and stuff, I would overlook it too. So, it's to each
It's all personal opinion, and that's what matters on a lot of them.
Linkbomb, has a good question. What do you think about the Fun Pips releasing alphas every 3 weeks or a month or what? How should they? Oh, chat. Sorry, it's going up. How should they handle their releases?
Well, you gotta remember the
option.
You gotta remember they used to do releases. What, Kage? Like every couple of weeks there for a while.
Every week.
And we were having to wipe worlds every week, and I mean they took a huge pushback against that. Stop with the small releases. Stop with the constant world wipes. All of that. So now they've gone into bigger, longer development cycles. So personally, I think their development cycles are a little longer than they should be, but I like the fact that since they usually require you to restart the world, that they've gone to longer ones.
My personal opinion for updates, if you're asking me if the pimps came to me and said, how often do you want updates? I would say probably once every 2 months would be perfect for me. I think a month might be too quick. I think the Forest does it every month, and I find that kind of quick. I think 2 months would be fine. 4 months is way too long. But you know what? They're gonna do what they got to do. I mean, as long as they're good updates, they've been good updates. Even when they're really challenging and they nerf the bow and the spikes are crap. Even though it's hard, it's still fun. We overcome and we figure out different strategies. So that doesn't really bother me too much. But 4 months is a little long. And this update has me worried because I kind of have a feeling from being on the forums and from seeing videos and people talking about the game, I kind of feel like this update has alienated a lot of players from the game. I think that they're kind of turning their back on the casuals. We're not going to get into that whole casual statement. We'll leave that be. But I do feel like they're turning their back on the casuals. And if you're just basing your game on the hardcore of an indie early access, very little known game where no podcasts are talking about it, you're not doing yourself any favors. And you want to make the game you want to make, but I mean, I would think, leave the settings in there the way they are. Don't get rid of the crafting instant timers, stuff like that. And let the casuals have their game. Why can't casuals have their game? And I don't think by any means I'm casual. I don't think any of you are casual. But there are casuals out there and they like the game. And we want the game to be popular. I want people to watch my videos. I want people to play the game. I kind of feel like this update is alien. I want the Fun Pimps to be successful so they make better games in the future. And I just kind of feel like catering to the hardcore is probably losing strategy.
They can cater to the hardcore by making the hard end of the game as hard as they want to make it. That doesn't mean they have to go to the casual end of the game and make it harder just to please the hardcore. Let the people that want to play it on easy mode play it on easy mode. I mean, there's no problem with that. Who's that hurting? Nobody.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. I play to have fun.
I play to have fun as well. I mean, I think for a lot of players who are new to the game should have that option to start off with, certain settings. And like you were just mentioning, I mean, you can't say it any better. Have the difficult settings, harder settings for those hardcore players. I mean, for example, watched Bad Buck stream today in the last few days, and I mean, he's been playing on hardcore settings, and he chose to do it, and I don't play nearly as hard as he does.
What do you guys think about Terraria?
Never played it.
I've never heard of it.
You guys never played Terraria?
No, that's another.
I've seen it on Steam.
That's one of those side-scrolling with the lower-end graphics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm really surprised at that.
No, I
played it for a while.
I'm picky about my games, so no, I haven't played it.
I played it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Then they stopped doing as many updates as usual. I kind of got bored with it, and I've never gone back to it. I know. Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, they just updated." Yes, I know they did, but I haven't gotten back to it, and probably won't.
Yeah, I played Terraria when it first came out. It's a fun game. It feels like that whole 2D scrolling thing feels, after playing Minecraft and all these 3D games, playing that 2D scrolling feels so limiting. I actually played Starbound for a while because I liked the whole idea of space and going from planet to planet. Starbound started getting too quest driven, and then I got out of that. Honestly, I don't see what people really love about Terraria. I don't.
What's interesting is, I've been playing video games long enough that when there was the day when all games were side scrollers practically. I mean, that was it. You didn't have 3D graphics where head down or isometric or anything else. You were doing side scrollers, and then all sorts of other kinds of graphics came out and everything else, and then all of a sudden, the last couple of years, the side scrollers have appeared back, and people are like, who've never seen side scrollers before, are all amazed at look, this is something new. This is great, but a lot of it I wasn't interested in because they were side scrollers, and I'd already played all those and moved on.
I've been getting up later to where it's really close.
The answer real quick. I enjoy crafting
for a while.
survival
I don't
games.
even know.
So, anyway, go ahead, Kage.
It's not my choice. In fact, I don't wake up.
No, go ahead, Dan. What'd you say? I didn't
Oh,
hear you.
somebody had asked 3 or 4 different times as the chat was scrolling by there. I caught it. I enjoy the crafting survival games. Anything that I might have to do, if in the realms of gamers, if it was to be a reality, could I survive? And what would I have to do to survive? Minecraft, I like. 7 Days to Die, Ark, The Long Dark Forest. I love those survival games. Anything. What do I need to do?
I was just about to ask.
Go ahead.
I was just about to ask for the Long Dark because I feel like the Long Dark is by far the most hardcore survival game out there.
It is.
Like, not
You're
even
going to
close.
die. The question is when.
Yeah, I've watched so many YouTubers play it, like even you, Kage, and I'm still even then I was like, no.
It's a fun game.
How hard it was, I was like, no. Oh, I believe it. I believe it, but I feel like, yeah.
You're kind of breaking up there, Proberts. Only getting about half of what you're saying there.
Somebody's downloading something, Proberts.
Yeah.
That kid
Are
off
you
the internet.
downloading?
He's yelling at his kid now. All right, guys. This has been going on for a while. I don't even know how long because I forgot to set my timer. So we're gonna stop this here. Like I said, Twig.
We're way past our 30 minutes.
Exactly. This Week in Gaming. We'll probably change the name because I don't want to be pissing off anyone, that already owns that name. We'll look into that. And don't forget on YouTube, guys, go ahead and leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll pick out a few, and we will read them on next week's podcast. I want to thank, well, first of all, I didn't really introduce you guys properly. Pam, you want to talk a little bit about kill servers?
Oh, yeah, you did. I'm a co-owner, Kill Servers. We provide dedicated servers for a lot of indie games. All indie games. All our games are indie games.
7 Days to Die. Ark. Do you still do Reign of Kings?
We still do Reign of Kings. I'm drawing a blank here. Don't Starve Together. We're going to be doing Minecraft. We have Starbound. Life is Futile. Project Zomboid.
There you go. And Proberts, did you want to talk about yourself a little bit? YouTuber, maybe a streamer someday? What do you think?
I'd love to be able to stream, but it's probably not going to happen because I am not going to move to a city. I live in the middle of Wyoming, of a town of about 400 people, and I don't think they're ever going to get me out of the Ice Age and get me to even 1 meg upload speed. 892 kilobytes, and that's probably about it out here in the middle of the desert.
What's going on YouTube? Are you going to be putting up daily content now, or what?
I am trying to put up daily. Pretty much I get 1 video every single day up. What I've tried to start doing lately is our husband-wife series. Art goes up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I try to upload a 7 Days to Die or an Empyrion overnight because the Arc doesn't hit until the afternoon. But with real-life situations and medical issues and things that are going on at home, every once in a while on my channel, people will see. Yeah, people will see that I might not get videos up for 2, 3, sometimes even 4 days. A lot of my subscribers already know about it, and the ones that don't, they'll find out eventually. So,
what about you, Lily? Do you do any Twitch or YouTube? I don't think you do. Do you?
I do not do either, but I am actually probably going to be starting Twitch here soon. I have everything set up, ready to go. I'm honestly just missing my second monitor, and since I get that, I'll be up and running. I don't know what else. Maybe the end of the month or next week.
What are you going to be playing?
7 Days, Ark, City Skylines, or I don't know, whatever I'm in the mood for. I can't. I play a variety of games. I play everything almost, except for.
Cool. Okay, guys. So that's gonna do it for This Week in Gaming. And like I said, we'll probably change some of the things around and definitely try and change the name. And that's gonna be it. Don't forget to get your questions in down below. We'll see you guys next week.
Hold on just a minute. I had a couple of people in chat. Come here, Blake. Me and Blake are going to show them how it's supposed to be done. And then I'll get my older son, Michael, over here, who's a wannabe. Come here, Mike. Come on. This is how it's done. He just trimmed his. Then Michael, come here. Come on. He's not going to go do it. He's not going to do it.
No, he's shy.
His face is as smooth as a baby's butt. We'll see you guys later. This was fun.
All right.